Sometimes in life, terrible things such as illness can help shape a person unexpectedly in positive ways. As a child, I suffered from polio, but rather than letting this experience destroy me, it shaped who I am. Polio not only affected my body, it also shaped my personality. I had to deal with pain, disability, and loneliness. My polio experience left me with a strong belief in the sanity of all life and ability to appreciate each moment. This later on helped me with many things in my writing. I was born on November 11, 1936 in La Crosse, Wisconsin. I am the only daughter of Arthur and Elizabeth. My father was an executive of Geothermal Company, and my mother was a homemaker. We were a middle class, and I kind of was spoiled as the only child. Also, as a kid, I read a lot and was always playing with my animals. I formed my dreams of being a writer or a veterinarian from these passions as a kid. They have always been my dream from the start. Then when I was 12, I was diagnosed with polio. I recovered from the polio, but left me crumpled in the end after all my treatment. I was just lucky that I had survived and that the experience didn't hurt me as bad as I thought it would. It changed my life dramatically, but it was in a good way. I began to look at things different. One of the things that changed about me from the experience was I gained compassion for all living things, especially animals. The animal passion never stopped as I compromised and used animals as a big part of writing my many stories. When I was 20, I attended the University of Minnesota, where I studied literature and writing. I used my studies to write my stories, but I didn't just focus on school and writing. I had other interests in things like foster care for rescued cats, which I took part in for a good amount of my life. Another interest I had was in my many memberships like Author Guild, Author League, Society of Children's Book Writers and Illustrators, and Mystery of Writers of America. During my middle-aged life, I got married to Kehret, who was a piano player and restorer. He was the love of my life, and we ended up adopting two wonderful children. Our two children were a son named Bob and a daughter named Annie. They are both wonderful children and have blessed me with grandchildren, who I now spoil rotten. Then on April 28, 2004, my husband died of natural causes at the age of 70. I was very sad for a long time and kind of depressed, but with my family I worked through it, and I expressed this in some of my writing. All of these things have only led up to my many stories I have wrote. I began writing as a young child, and I fell in love with the style. I dabbled in a few things like adult books, plays, and a few other styles, but I never wrote more than a couple in the other genres. My passion was in youth stories that all shared a similar theme of love, compassion, and that things can always get better. These themes were all inspired by my childhood. So in 1987, I had my first book published called Deadly Stranger. From there, I went on publishing over 40 more books. My most famous was Small Steps, Abduction, Stolen Children, Cages, and Runaway Twin, and Spy Cat. There are times when I ask myself when I get all of my ideas, but there's really no answer to that. I just write them all down when they come to me. I dabble with a few, and then if I don't like them, then I just go off. I've had times where I've gone months without an idea, but all I do is wait, and soon enough I start writing a new book. My books have also won me several awards, like Mark Twain's Award to Young Readers Award. These awards are some of the greatest accomplishments of my life after my children. Never in a million years had I thought I would be receiving these awards and the honor I have for my books. Small Steps. It's about me when I was young and I had polio. It explains all the troubles I went through and all my friends I made along the way and the people I have lost. I lost some of my best friends in the hospital, and I gained some great friends from there too. Now the next trailer is The Runaway.
On a fast track, going nowhere, back in time now. Wanna go there when my mind is kind of feeling it's not the last time we'll be meeting. We'll be meeting, and you won't stop believing, and you can't help the feeling that you've been so defeated by this thing called love. And you try dancing, slow dancing, you give love a last chance, but it's all moving so fast that you can't keep up. Wanna know you, that's a secret. Wanna show you that I feel this. Wanna go there, but keep my distance. Wanna say that, but keep it all in. And I hold on, don't get my guard down. Build a fortress all around now. Wanna swim into a dark sea. Close my eyes so you can see me, and you won't stop believing, and you can't help the feeling that you've been so defeated by this thing called love. And you try dancing, slow dancing, you give love a last chance, but it's all moving so fast that you can't keep up.
That was the book trailer for my book, The Runaway Train. It's about a girl who was separated with her sister at the age of 2. She sets across the country to find her sister with only a photo when they were really young. She gets caught in things like a tornado and like these really awful people, like robbers and stuff. But she brings along with her a dog that she finds and rescues. And then she finds her sister in the end, only to realize that she's just a snob and a rich kid. And then this is an interview of me about my book.
Hello, I'm Kehret, the author of Stolen Children. When I first started writing many, many years ago, I was writing adult plays and short stories, and I got the idea for a novel about a girl who was babysitting and the baby got kidnapped. So I wrote an adult novel. It went to every publisher imaginable and nobody bought it, and the book never got published. But every once in a while I'd think about that and think that was a pretty good idea for a plot. Eventually I started writing books for kids, and every once in a while I remember that novel. Once I even got out the manuscript and I went through it and it was terrible. I can see why nobody published it. I thought, I can't even salvage this. But it still was a good idea. So I finally decided I'll write a different novel about a girl who's babysitting and the baby gets kidnapped. And that book turned out to be Stolen Children. Different characters, different plot, everything is different from my original one, except it was a good basic idea. Now when people ask me, how long does it take you to write a book? Usually I say between 6 and 9 months. But with Stolen Children, that idea was a long time ago. So if you say, how long did it take you to write this book? The answer is 35 years. Good luck with the competition.
Thank you for having me today. We hope you read some of my books.
Thanks, Hannah.